Now write down the problem. Sin theta plus sin 5 theta equals to sin 3 theta, where they have given that theta is lying between 0 and pi. So here we will find out the general solution first, and then we will find out the values of theta which are falling between 0 and pi, and that will be our answer. Our answer will not be the general solution in this case. We have to find out the particular values of theta which is falling between 0 and pi. So for that, what I am doing, in the left hand side we are applying sin C plus sin D formula. Let me take sin 3 theta in the left hand side. Is it clear? Now either this is 0 or this is 0. So when sin 3 theta is 0, we are getting 3 theta as n pi. So theta is nothing but n pi by 3, where n belongs to z. Otherwise, cos 2 theta will be equals to half. That implies 2 theta. Sin 3 theta equals to half means what? Cos 2 theta equals to half means what? Cos 2 theta equals to cos pi by 3. So that implies 2 theta equals to 2n pi plus minus alpha. Theta is nothing but n pi plus minus pi by 6. Okay? Now sometimes, since we have already taken n once, so it may so happen that you cannot take n in the second case. You can take another integer, there is no problem. So in this case also your n belongs to z. Have you understood this? Since I have taken n over here, you may not take n in the second equation, okay? Because sometimes in the answer you will find that there is not n, there is k or some other integer thing is given over here. So don't get nervous looking that. Okay, now we have to find out the particular values of theta. So from the first one you observe, I cannot take the values of n negative, because negative value will give you some values which is, which will be less than 0, so which we have to reject. Therefore, not taking the values of n as negative, let me just put n equals to 0 in this equation first. So what we are getting, theta as 0. Then if I put n is 1, we are getting pi by 3, right? I'm writing it here. We are getting pi by 3. Now if I put n equals to 2, so we are getting 2 pi by 3. Accepted? Because it is lying between 0 and pi. Now if I put n equals to 3, so in that case what we are getting? We are getting, if I write 3 over here, so we are getting pi. Pi also falls within this range because pi is closed over here. Okay, so these are the 4 values that we got from the first equation. Now let us come for the second one. If I put n equals to 0, we are going to get plus minus 6. Minus 6 I will reject, so plus 6 is accepted. Okay, now if I put n equals to say 1, we are getting pi plus minus pi by 6. Okay, so one value you are getting, if I take plus 1, so it will be more than pi, so rejecting that. Pi minus pi by 6 will give you 5 pi by 6, so that value also we will take. Is it clear? So we got 5 pi by 6. Now if I put n equals to say 2, if I put n equals to 2, you are going to get 2 pi plus theta, which is beyond this, so we will leave that one. 2 pi minus pi by 6, again it will not fall within this range. Therefore the values of theta that we got are 0, pi by 3, 2 pi by 3, pi by 6 and 5 pi by 6. These are the 6 values that we got which will satisfy this condition and the given equation. Is it clear to all of you? Now let us move for the next sum. Okay. Write down the second sum. solve for theta, where sine theta minus 2 equals to cos 2 theta, okay? And they have said that theta is lying between 0 and 2 pi. Again, we have to find out the particular values of theta, not the general solution. First of all, we will find out the general solution, and then we will find out the values of theta which are falling in this range. Okay, so for this one, what we do is cos 2 theta can be written as, in terms of sine, take everything in the left hand side, okay, so what we are getting? So we are getting here as 2 sine theta plus 3 into sine theta minus 1 equals to 0. Is it clear? So either this is 0 or this is 0. But when this part is 0, you observe your sine theta becomes minus 3 by 2. As we all know that sine theta always lies between minus 1 and 1. Hence, we are rejecting this value. Okay? So, we are taking sine theta equals to 1. So, that implies theta will be equals to 2n pi plus pi by 2, right? 2n pi plus pi by 2. Now, we have to find out the values of theta which is lying between 0 and 2 pi, and within this range, your sine theta equals to 1, we have only one value which is nothing but your pi by 2. Am I correct? Between 0 and 2 pi, this is actually the principal value, isn't it? 2 pi is not included, but in principal value 2 pi is not included. So this is almost like like the principal value. So within that principal value, your sine theta is 1. There is only one value which is nothing but theta equals to pi by 2. For this, your sine theta will be equals to 1. Otherwise, you can simply put n equals to 0 over here. We are getting pi by 2. If I put n equals to 1, it is going beyond this. So we have to reject that. Even if we take n equals to minus 1, it is falling less than 0. So we have to reject that. Is it clear? So theta equals to pi by 2 is the only solution for this equation. Is it clear to all of you? Now let us take the third question as find the values of theta which satisfy tan square theta is 1 by 3, where theta is lying between minus pi and pi. Again, in this case, we are going to find out the particular values of theta. First, we will find out the general solution, then we will put the values of n, where n was the, the integers, and we will find out those values of theta which falls between minus pi and pi. Tan square theta is 1 by 3 means tan square theta can be written as 1 by root 3 whole square. So which is nothing but tan square pi by 6. So we will write theta is nothing but n pi plus minus pi by 6. Am I correct? If tan square theta equals to tan square alpha, then theta equals to n pi plus minus alpha. Okay, now in place of n, we are putting first 0. So for that we are getting theta as plus minus pi by 6. Both of these values falls within this range. If n is 1, it is pi. If I take the positive value, if n is 1 and if we take the positive value, we are getting a value which is more than pi. So we have to reject that. So other value will be pi minus pi by 6, which will give you 5 pi by 6. Is it clear? Now if I put say 2 pi, n is 2, so it will be 2 pi plus pi by 6. Again, it is beyond that. 2 pi minus pi by 6, which is not falling within this range. So just reject that. Now let us put n equals to minus 1. If n is minus 1, you see what we are getting. Minus pi plus minus pi by 6, right? So one value we are getting it as, if I take the positive value, we are getting minus 5 pi by 6, which falls between this range. And if we take minus pi by 6, which is not falling within this range. Therefore, we will take only the value minus 5 pi by 6. Is it clear? Now, if we take n equals to minus 2, look it carefully. If n is minus 2, it will be what? Minus 2 pi minus pi by 6. Forget it. Minus 2 pi plus pi by 6. In that case also, we are not getting a value which is falling within this range. Therefore, we have to reject that one also. So, no necessity of taking any other values of n. Therefore, the values of theta will be nothing but plus minus pi by 6 and plus minus 5 pi by 6. Is it clear to all of you? Now, let us take another problem. Question number 4. Solve. Solve means we are finding out the general solution. Sec x minus 1 equals to root 2 minus 1 tan x. Okay? That implies 1 minus cos x by cos x equals to root 2 minus 1. It's sin x by cos x. Is it clear to all of you? Now, let me just cancel cos x from both sides. That is, we are multiplying both sides with cos x. So, we are getting 1 minus cos x equals to root 2 minus 1 into sin x. 1 minus cos x can be written as 2 sin square x by 2. And sin x can be written as 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2. 2 goes off. Let us take everything in one side. So we are getting, after taking common sin x by 2, is it clear to all of you? So either sin x by 2 is 0 or this part is 0. So when sin x by 2 is 0, that implies x by 2 is n pi. So that implies x is nothing but 2n pi, where n belongs to any integer. Otherwise, sin x by 2 equals to root 2 minus 1 cos x by 2. So tan x by 2 is nothing but root 2 minus 1. Is it clear to all of you? Now, can you remember the value of root 2 minus 1? Tan, what is the angle of tan such that it will give you root 2 minus 1? Can you remember it? It is 22.5 degree. Is it clear? So, tan 22.5 degree is nothing but root 2 minus 1. Therefore, tan x by 2 equals to tan 22.5 degree, which is nothing but your tan pi by 8. So that implies x by 2 is nothing but n pi plus alpha. Therefore, x is nothing but 2n pi plus pi by 4. Is it clear? Again, n belongs to any integer. Therefore, the general solution is x equals to 2n pi or x equals to 2n pi plus pi by 4. Is it clear to all of you? Have you understood this?